Welcome to Nerdmageddon.
Hello and welcome back to Nerdmageddon here on KZLX LP Maryville and on the KNWT Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for hosting us once again. I am your host, Corey Herzog. With me, I have...
your most generous host and designer of the new stuff that we have, Simon Clark.
Kansas City Chiefs fan, Kenzie Duvall.
The one who thought that you were mispronouncing your name. Like your own name.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kansas Cheese.
I don't know why. Anyways, I'm Molly.
And let's give a warm welcome to our new mascot, Trevor the Geekzilla.
Oh, I love him so much. I'm so glad we got the chance to do that.
Me too.
So, I'm just, yeah.
He's beautiful. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah.
And thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into the nerd news. We have quite a bit to talk about this week. Starting with one that very near and dear to my heart.
Of course.
Wicked, the movie, finally has a new director. So maybe we'll see something after a decade. So John M. Chu, the director of Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights from Lin-Manuel Miranda, is now going to be the director of Universal's Wicked live adaptation.
You know, I both really enjoyed In the Heights and Crazy Rich Asians. Both are like great movies, so I'm really excited to see his work and what he's going to do and put into Wicked to have it kind of be his own spin on it. And I'm just so excited to see his director's vision.
Yeah, I'm just really, really excited because obviously Wicked is one of my favorite musicals. I've seen it 3 times. It's beautiful. Love it. But he said that he's always really related to Elphaba. He's always felt a little awkward and out of place, so he feels like this is just going to be a really good project that's going to be near and dear to his heart as well. And then he teased on social media, so who wants to be Elphaba and Glinda? I cannot sing, but I will be Elphaba any day.
I'm excited with all of the musicals that are being turned into movies recently, just because, I mean, like our generation, I say our generation very blanketed, but I feel like we kind of grew up around those musicals. At least I did. I grew up with Cats, but that was a harrowing experience for me.
We don't need to talk about that.
No.
I know. Only thing I'm waiting for is a reimagining or reboot of the Jesus Christ Superstar movie.
Oh,
That's all I want.
That could be interesting.
Oh, I think it'd be great, because the 2005 one was not good. Don't put Jesus in leather.
That's a weird comment.
That's a sentence I never want heard again.
So, yeah, you know what? We can just gloss over that. I'll explain during our break. Don't worry about it.
No, so my hope is that this is going to be kind of like what Disney did with Newsies and with Hamilton, where it is a live stage production that is just filmed and edited for the screen.
Yes.
Because otherwise things get lost and it doesn't always look as great. And I just want the big clock dragon to be there.
I mean...
yeah, that'd be cool. That's so cool.
They could potentially still do the Clock Dragon even in a, like, not live stage show. But they would probably not do it if they were to make it more movie-esque.
If they did it more movie-esque, I would like for them to kind of go back to the original book of Wicked. Because that's where we get, the dragon. That's actually supposed to be like a symbolism for religion.
Huh.
Wasn't it like Oz before Oz sort of thing?
Not really.
Okay.
Because that was Ozma. She was like
right.
goddess type thing. No, it's more of like a neo-religion that came around after the wizard came.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because he brought the clock with him.
Right. I remember. Yes.
So
okay.
I have listened to the music, but I actually have not wanted to see the musical unless I was seeing it in person. And I have not yet had the opportunity to see it in person. But it's just one of those things where I personally feel like it is not a musical or a show that I can just bootleg off of the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be there and in person seeing it.
That was the way I felt with Jesus Christ Superstar. I keep bringing it up. It's my favorite musical. But my girlfriend and I, we went and saw it in person in Omaha, and it was spectacular. It was so good.
Oh, because you guys went to the Orpheum, didn't you?
We went to the Orpheum.
Oh,
yeah.
man, they do amazing shows there.
Mhm. And this was one of the traveling troops. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Kinsey, you're absolutely right. Wicked is a musical that you need to see in person.
I also don't know a whole lot of what's going on in it either. So, like, that's why it's like I don't want to watch it online. I want to, like, be in the moment and, like, be, like, a part of the show in that way. And then, like, whatever twists and turns are in it, I want to be shocked.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to expect it. Like, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So this is gonna be my last comment on what I hope the movie has. I would like for Idina and Kristen to at least make cameos. They don't have to reprise their roles. They're a little too old for it, unfortunately, because they're supposed to be like college-age kids. But I would like for them to have like little cameos or possibly taking on a different role. Like, I think Kristen could make a wonderful Madame Morrible.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I would just like to see something like that, a little nod to them, because they made these roles iconic. Also, the popular dress is not supposed to be pink; it's supposed to be blue. Original dress was blue.
Yes.
Yes, but it's Kristen. She, like, her in pink.
True. So moving on to things that are getting changed and rearranged, the Snyder Cut comes out next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the release date is March 18th, 2021. It is a 4-hour movie. Basically because Snyder originally wanted it to be in 2 parts, but then I believe it was the producers. They're like, nope, make it 1 movie. And it's because the Justice League movie that came out before this one was directed by, I believe it was a Marvel director.
I don't. Was it James Gunn?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I thought it was Joss Whedon.
I can't
It
remember.
may have been Joss Whedon.
I know
I don't
all
remember,
I
honestly.
remember, because I can't remember now, but all I do remember is that it was like originally directed by one of the original Marvel directors, and then Snyder came back and he goes, "No, this is kind of trash," and is releasing everything that.
This is for Justice League, yes?
Yeah, Justice League. Yes.
Jason Reitman
Okay.
is the original director.
Yes.
But yeah, so Snyder's now coming back. And it's like just talking about how it's his viewpoints pretty much and how it should have been.
Yeah, I hear that there are certain characters that are supposed to have more screen time. We get a look at the Joker in all of this.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting yelled at right now because I gave some incorrect information. One moment. Yep.
Okay, what did Cody have to say? This is Cody Nance, producer of Nerd Central, by the way. He has an unnatural obsession with this.
Yeah. Jose Whedon?
That's Josh
Josh
Whedon.
Wheaton.
His phone just probably autocorrected Joss to Jose.
Okay, well,
I mean,
Love autocorrect, right?
I've heard weirder things from autocorrect. But I'm not a big Justice League person. I probably won't watch the Snyder Cut, but I'm super excited for those of you who have been waiting for this. Cody, that's an @ to you. But kind of moving along with that,
he's still trying to spell it and can't do it.
Cody, just take autocorrect off. But moving along with that, speaking of directors, reprising their roles and all that, we are getting a new series on Disney Plus. Which the news comes out just in time for Black History Month. Mm-hmm. It is Kingdom of Wakanda. So it's actually from the director of Black Panther. He's
Good. I'm glad they kept him.
Yes, because he did a phenomenal job. Disney was singing his praises, and they want him to come back and do this. So we don't have a whole lot of information. It's going to be a 5-year contract with Disney Plus, and we don't know who's going to be in it. We don't know if it's going to be new characters that we haven't seen before, if we're going to be following the stories of pre-established characters. Personally, I'd like to see more of M'Baku, but that's just me. But I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Mainly because I just think that the world of Wakanda and the lore behind Black Panther really needs to be like dug into, because his character is such an amazing character. It's a lot like this. It's a lot like other heroes where their powers are like kind of like passed down, if you know what I mean. But his is special. It's way different compared to everybody else's, and it's just all of the characters in it are just
One
amazing.
thing I'm just really, really hoping for is that Shuri
Yes.
becomes the new Black Panther.
That is kind of the rumor that's been circling around.
Because it's in the comics. It is in the comics.
Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of what a lot of people are hoping for. I also think that'd be pretty neat.
Well, and then just imagine, like, with all the diversity that's coming out now with characters, and especially having, like, lead female power characters, for, like, the generations that are, like, growing up underneath us is going to be just so amazing for them, and they'll feel like they can do anything. And that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Yes, I think this has so much potential. And if this is following, like, Shuri, no matter what happens in Marvel, I want more interactions between her and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yes!
I need some of that humor. I need that. I have so many thoughts. Just hire me, Marvel. I have so many ideas, and it would be great.
It's super cute.
But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this. And we have quite a few revivals coming around. Molly, you had one that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so apparently they're doing a Frasier revival, and I don't actually know much about it because I forgot to look at the article that I found before tonight, but it's weird because it very much so blindsided me because I had never even I didn't like hear anything about it. Frasier, for anyone who doesn't know, is like 90s spin-off of Cheers, which was the Everyone Knows Your Name bar show. And Frasier followed the title character Frasier as he moved to Seattle and was a radio show therapist, essentially. Psychologist.
We should look at doing that.
Yeah, we should. That'd be a great line for a show.
So this is
damaged
coming
so many
to
people.
Paramount Plus, which is, a streaming service, because everything that's a streaming service has plus at the end.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's how you market it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the brand plus a little extra.
there you go. Corey, no.
What?
I realized that was a pun as I was agreeing with you, and I rescind my support.
Well, you can be wrong.
Okay.
Yes. But no, that's...
She's my big. I have to give her a high five.
No,
You don't
you don't.
have
No,
to.
because she supports me when I make bad jokes.
I don't know. That seems kind of like hazing.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I'm not in Greek life anymore, so I can't get in trouble for that word. But no, so... Frasier is an interesting thing because it is a spin-off of a show, and then it's getting like its own revival / possibly a spin-off type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to get out of this?
I don't know. Because I feel like Frasier is fine as is, and I don't know how they would do a revival because a lot of it, I feel like, is defined by the original actors.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Kelsey Grammer is so infamous for his role. And anytime, because he also then went on to voice Sideshow Bob in The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And literally anytime that I watch a Simpsons episode with him in it, I'm just like, that's Frasier.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's gonna be weird if they do just, like, completely reboot it, or if it starts from where the show ended, if it is like a continuation.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about these 90s shows getting a reboot? So we've had like Will and Grace, Gilmore Girls, things along those nature.
Well, I feel that they are trying to appeal to the people who have the money to, get these streaming services. So my parents watched Frasier and, stuff like that because they were college kids and they didn't have really anything else better to do.
Yeah.
So they would watch Frasier and other shows. But I feel like constantly rebooting shows is going to ruin the creative process of making anymore. Like, it's just not going to be good. It's going to put put like new creators to the wayside because look, this new person, this thing that I loved a long time ago is brand new. So yeah, nostalgia is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And from like a media standpoint, how do you feel like this is going to kind of impact, the original? So taking something that's so iconic in its original form and then putting it into a modern day setting that may not entirely fit.
Yeah. So I've actually thought about this before. Or I've talked about this with Offit, I think once or twice. But taking a reboot of a show usually will point out the horrible flaws that were in the original and will make people hate it. Like, so if Friends were to get a reboot, I watched Friends for the first time once I hit college. I didn't watch Friends throughout high school or anything. I watched for the first time and I'm like, wow, I don't like Ross.
No one likes Ross.
Nobody likes Ross. I also was like, wow, I think Chandler is a not cool person. And it's just like, I didn't connect with any of the characters at all. But other people were like, oh, I love this guy. So it's just because they grew up with it. So if people are gonna recreate it or reboot it, they're going to have to keep those same characters. And with the way things are now, if you view those characters expecting that although they're going to be the same, that you'll still feel the same about them, it's completely wrong because you're putting these characters modern day settings in which you have probably experienced those things and you're like, that's not at all what that person would do, or that's not at all an okay thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna kind of be devil's advocate here a little bit too, because if you look at it from the other side, if someone does end up enjoying the show, they're gonna want to go back and also see the original from where it came from. So I feel like it is one of those things where like there's a good side to it and there's also a bad side. It just depends on everyone who's watching them. Yeah. It's also one of those things where like I don't wish for these people to fail. I hope it turns out good. I hope people enjoy it. Like I hope everyone finds a little bit of joy in something that they watch or see or do. So it could turn out either way. But I'm just gonna give them the best of luck.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like certain shows can kind of get away with bringing it to the modern setting. So, like, I'll take Gilmore Girls as an example because it ended in, like, the early 2000s. So, like, 2008 is, like, where I remember it because there's a reference to Obama running for president.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes sense. And then, like, it's not them trying to go back and be like, oh, like, this is bits that you missed in the show, but continuing and building on those character relationships.
Yeah.
And Frasier did end in 2004. It ran for 11 seasons, so
okay.
It did span quite a lot of time, and it did end rather soon into the 2000s. So, I don't know, it probably went through a lot of changes. I myself haven't actually seen all of it. I've just seen, like, bits and pieces and episodes.
Have I told you the story about how my freshman year roommate watched the entire series of Frasier?
No.
So, you know Will Linder.
Oh, Will Linder.
Oh.
Remember, he was a part of the show. I remember one night, like, he came home, he was, like, upset about something. He's like, I'm going to put on Frasier. I'm like, cool, dude. And he put it on. I went to bed because I had an 8 a.m. I woke up at, like, 6 in the morning. And he was still watching Frasier. He had all of them on, like, he had, like, the entire series on DVD. And he was, like, watching it through my Xbox. I'm like, has my Xbox turned off at all? And he's like, no, what time is it? And I'm like, it's 6 in the morning, bud. What are you doing?
that's a very Will thing to happen.
Absolutely.
But I can think of a spin-off or like a revival kind of show. So Boy Meets World was like a big show that was really popular. And then they came out, Disney ended up having a show called Girl Meets World, which is pretty much about Corey and...
Yes.
Stop.
No.
Corey.
And, I can't remember the...
It's about his kid.
Topanga.
Yeah, Topanga, their kid. And it kind of goes into that whole thing, but it's through the eyes of like her pretty much. And I think that worked out very successfully. It was a show that I actually enjoyed watching and made me go back and watch
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah. So moving on, we have a couple other revivals that Simon, you wanted to talk about.
Other revivals?
Someone else mentioned a revival.
I don't know. I was
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that happened.
Yes, let's talk about some Love and Thunder.
So, cutting a little close for time, but this is an easy one. Love and Thunder images from the set got leaked. Some paparazzi took pictures and leaked them. The outfits for characters look great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's very 80s style, which is exactly what Taika Waititi promised. The character Kraglin, it looks like that in this he has like the silver like Yondu mohawk thing going on, so he probably took up that mantle and became the new Yondu.
Okay.
And Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's getup looks a little bit more refined, looks a little bit more dark, I want to
Yes.
say. It looks interesting. So there's a lot of speculation going around like characters and stuff that are going to be in it. People say that Krang the Conqueror is going to be in it, which would open up a huge new world of possibilities for the rest of the series of Marvel in general. But that's pretty big.
Yes. And looking at some of these pictures, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good because they did bring James Gunn back
Yes.
for it because he's helping write it, and Taika Waititi is helping write and direct it. So
Yeah. And then we have just one more thing that's going to be super quick. Simon,
Yes.
you were so excited about this. D&D Muppets.
yeah, so Stuff of Legends, spelled Stuff, like stuffing.
And just stuff in general.
And
Yeah.
stuff in general, but it's a play on words. Stuff of
Yes.
Legends. It is basically a Muppet-esque version of Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, and the characters look ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
They
I've
do-
seen the first
Have
picture.
you seen the
Yeah.
girl?
Yes, I have. We can talk about that later. But it looks ridiculous. It's probably gonna have the same vibe as like Muppets, but a little bit catered more towards adults, obviously. I haven't read much up on it, but the society's reaction to it is A, confusion, and B, confusion.
Yes.
It's just
I'm looking at the man Muppet here, and his beard is glorious.
it's really good. It's really good. Yeah. So
It even has like cute little braids.
yeah.
He looks great.
I'm loving what they're doing with creating new content for Dungeons and Dragons, and just how Wizards is starting to really lighten up and let people start to make their own stuff.
So basically, kind of the vibe I'm getting from this is Avenue Q, but D&D.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. It's going to be weird. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Why?
Because why not?
Why not?
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
All right. Well, while Kenzie stews on that mental image,
Get it out.
thank you guys so much for joining me for another segment of Nerd News Now. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, you
You'll
nerd
nerd
it
it
here
here
first.